Welcome to the Park Hopper Society, a place where we discuss all things travel and theme parks. We'll talk a little bit about life and a whole lot about Disney. My name is Gary, and I'm joined by my fellow hoppers, Britt.
Hello.
And Aaron.
Hello.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about what to do if you get sick when in, we said Disney World, but similar things apply to Disneyland. We'll also talk about things that we're excited about coming to the parks in 2025, and we'll tell you about one of our favorite things in Disney World. So you have to stay tuned to figure out what that favorite thing is, though. So, Walt Disney World is known as the most magical place on Earth. But that doesn't mean that every experience at Disney is going to be magical. Do you fellas agree?
That is fair.
Yeah. So, especially when you start thinking about bringing people from all over the world together, they're going to bring, of course, some culture differences. You're going to hear all kinds of different languages spoken, and a lot of germs. So you take all that and you combine that with the sweltering heat, some greasy food, and some accident-prone people. And, well, you have quite the mess. So what do you do when you get sick or you get injured in Disney? Any experiences with this you guys are willing to share?
I have no such experiences. The closest I've ever been is like whenever I got the COVID vaccine the night before I went to Dollywood, last time I went to Dollywood.
Okay.
And I got very sick in the middle of the day at Dollywood, but I did nothing. But
Well, that's because the vaccine, at least for me, it put me on my butt.
yeah,
So
I think
was
put most people on their butt.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I got it, but I don't remember. I don't know if it did anything to me.
I remember
COVID did the first time I had it.
Yeah, I bet.
So first of all, I feel like before we go on further, though, we do need to go ahead and say, if you're currently experiencing a medical emergency, quit listening to this podcast and call 911 immediately.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what every
Also,
doctor's office tells me when I call them.
Nothing you hear here is advice. Like,
No, well, I mean, it's not medical. I don't know. Don't sue
medical
us.
advice.
Don't
Yeah.
sue us. That's what we're saying.
Don't blame
That's-
us.
Yeah, don't blame us.
To be clear, the goal of this podcast is not to make people sick,
or
so.
to make people sue us.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you've been sick at Disney World.
Well, I haven't been sick at Disney World, but
okay.
I've been with people who were sick at Disney World. So yeah, a couple of times actually. In fact, the most recent trip that I had down there, my oldest son had a spot on his toe, on his big toe, that was a little swollen, little pussy, little gross, and so my wife took a picture of it, sent it to a friend of hers who is a nurse. And she texted back and was like, I would go get that checked out, which is kind of what I already thought. It's not worth losing your toe to go to the Magic Kingdom, which is where we were headed that day. So
Some people have given their leg.
True. Maybe even more.
Maybe.
So we had to figure all this out. Yeah. And I knew that there were options there, but we had never had to really figure any of it out other than first aid. We'll talk about some of the lesser options, but after a little bit of Googling and a little bit of thinking, and I'm pretty sure I texted you to ask if you've ever done this.
Yep. Which I haven't. Not quite.
Yeah.
Again, the lesser things we'll talk about in a minute. Yes. But
so we ended up going to we ended up at Advent Health, which is they have one. It's actually real close to Disney Springs. It's still technically on Disney property. It's like right at the very corner of it.
Okay.
But yeah, we ended up going to the front desk and telling them we need to go to urgent care and get this checked out and everything. And they called them up and they sent a van. They picked us up within about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, drove us down there, in and out, brought us back. It was honestly overall not the way I would choose to spend a morning at Disney.
Right.
But if you got to do it, it's not too bad.
There are worse ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather do that than have to Uber to the hospital.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I didn't realize that they would come and pick you up.
Yeah, they will. So literally, like I said, we just told them we need to go to urgent care, and they got my information, they got my son's information, kind of what's going on. I think I don't really remember exactly what but they called and told them, we've got a guest here. We were staying at Art of Animation. We've got a guest at Art of Animation, and they told me, there'd be a group of 4 to pick up because it was gonna be myself, my wife, my 2 sons. And so we got outside, we were waiting on the van, and I kind of told my wife, I was like, hey, why don't you just, y'all go on. There's no reason for us all to go. Y'all go on. We'll be fine. It's just a little spot on his toe. I think it just needs to get drained. So yeah, picked us up, took us down there. It's just like a regular urgent care. Checked us in, got our insurance. Doctor came in. Doctor was awesome. He was really, really good. Clearly works with kids a lot.
Yeah, well, the bar has to be high.
Right. And that's, I would imagine when this guy is not there at the urgent care clinic, he probably works at like the children's hospital or something. Like he just had that vibe to him, And he came in and confirmed that the spot on his toe did probably need to get drained. And we learned a valuable lesson about not picking at our toenails. Because apparently when you pick at your nails, these spots can form. And he did say it wasn't a big deal. It would have totally taken care of itself, but basically it would have kept swelling until it got taking care of itself, which could have taken like a week.
Yeah.
And so I explained to my son, who was not particularly pleased that there was going to be a needle involved, that, the option was either this or you're not going to be able to walk around the parks by tomorrow.
So was he fine?
He was fine. They drained it. They put a Band-Aid on it, put some antibiotic ointment on it, gave us a prescription. And yeah, he was totally fine with that. The doctor did tell him he was not allowed to swim in the pool, which was a big bummer.
Yeah.
But
because the pool at Art of Animation is incredible.
The big blue
pool. If
pool.
you're a kid.
Yeah. It's a great pool.
Yeah.
So other than that, now he did ask if we could still ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure, to which the doctor said, yeah, I think that would be fine, but you cannot go to the water parks. And then he went on like a tirade against water parks.
Oh.
So yeah, other than that, it was good. And not only that, but when we, they gave us a prescription and we got that filled by they have a specific pharmacy through Advent Health that you can get the prescription from, and they will actually deliver it to your resort for you.
Wow.
They dropped it off there. The front desk held on to it until we got back that night.
Okay.
Went and picked it up. No big deal.
Man. So yeah, I didn't know that any of that honestly was possible, because anytime that the kids have been, or I for that matter, have been sick. I think it was last year sometime we had gone down and Lennon had like a head cold or something like that. Sure. But it was definitely something that was more than just, some nose spray, right? It's going to make it go away. So we, through our insurance, we have like a telehealth service that we can call. So we did that.
Okay.
And we did have some prescription called in, but I didn't realize that there was a pharmacy that was on property or any of that. And so we ended up Ubering out to just Celebration. So we weren't that far away. Yeah,
which I'm pretty sure is actually where that might have been the Advent Health Pharmacy, because I think it was Celebration.
Well, this was CVS.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It wasn't the same one then.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're close. I don't know.
Maybe.
So we ended up Ubering out there, getting the medicine, Ubering back. And it wasn't, it wasn't the worst of experiences.
No, but still,
Yeah, but had I known that there was the whole Advent Health.
Yeah.
And we could have just gone to the urgent care there.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and we did pay for it. I think it was like $70 or something. And that was, I think, for the prescription and the visit to urgent care. I'm sure our insurance will send us a bill later because they'll be like, never mind. We didn't want to pay for this.
Right.
But, it definitely beat having to Uber to really anywhere.
Yeah.
And like I said, the transportation was complimentary. It's a nice van. It's a big van. So you could bring your whole group if you really wanted to for some reason. And it was kitted out. They had some really nice bags in case you needed a bag to put anything in.
Yeah.
Which that was not our issue at all. So thankfully. A protein spill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yum.
So yeah, if you need urgent care, that's the way to do it. Go to the front desk of your resort and tell them you need to go to urgent care, and they will make it happen for you. And while we were there were a
yeah.
lot of other kids. There were a couple of adults that came in and sort of same thing,
Okay.
had like head colds going on. One person did mention that he had been sick to his stomach for like a couple of days. I'll tell you what, if you really want to get him moving though, do what this one guy did. He came in and they basically said, what's going on? And he said, chest issue.
Oh.
And they real quickly clarified what exactly does that mean? Like, is this like a chest cold? And he said, yeah, with some pain. And he got to go back real quick.
I bet he did.
Yeah. So,
I bet he did.
Little urgent care hack if you need it, I guess.
I mean, in fairness, I've heard the same thing about the emergency room, right?
Yeah, it's like a lightning lane.
Yeah, it's like a lightning lane. That's right. Yeah, a little different, but
more or less the same concept.
I mean, you may also have to stay longer though. So it just
That's
depends.
true.
Where do you want to sit? Do you want to sit in the waiting room, or do you want to sit in the back and have
The
all these tests
extra
ran on
magical
you?
hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, again, thankfully, as far as being sick on I've never had that happen where I had to go to urgent care.
Yeah.
I have had one time we were there, and I don't know if it was just all the junk that I had eaten or what, but I specifically remember eating at what's it called? Primetime Cafe or whatever.
Over in Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios,
Yep.
yeah. And I had the meatloaf there. First time we'd ever been, and the meatloaf was excellent.
Okay.
Until,
I don't like meatloaf.
Oh well. I would never eat that meatloaf again. And I don't really think it was that. It was just that was the last thing I ate.
Yeah.
And I spent the next day in the bed.
I will say there is something about when it returns.
Yeah.
It's a big turnoff from.
It is.
So you're like you said, even if it wasn't the meatloaf, it doesn't really matter anymore at that point.
It doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I had a bug or what it was, but in a way it worked out because it was one of those, we were staying for a week, and so we had a built-in break day.
Okay, nice.
And my body was like, you will
It's
take
time.
a break.
Yeah.
You will not continue on. But
Yeah.
the next day I was fine. And, so I was, as a matter of fact, we had lunch reservations at Tusker House.
Ooh,
which
yeah,
is not
nice.
like if your stomach is iffy.
Yeah, probably.
It's
yeah.
just a lot of flavor. You
There-
know what I
a
mean?
lot of flavor.
It's
That's a good way to
great.
put it.
It
Yeah,
was
it is.
wonderful. It was a wonderful meal. And to be honest with you, I sat down. I was like, I'm paying a lot of money for this, and this food is really good.
Yep.
I'm just going to risk it.
Power through, man.
Yeah, and it was fine.
Yeah.
It was honestly, it was fine. Other than that, there have been occasions where, like I remember one time, actually when we were in Disneyland back in October.
Okay.
We were at California Adventure, and again, I'm not sure if it was just the time difference or the heat that I wasn't expecting. I don't know.
Sure.
But my head was pounding.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any ibuprofen or anything like that. And so I asked one of the cast members, I was like, hey, do you guys sell ibuprofen here somewhere? And they're like, if you just go to First Aid, like they'll give you some. I think they gave it to me. And so, of course, I had to get on the app, find where is First Aid.
Right.
It's at the front of the park.
Yep.
Generally. And yeah, so I went to First Aid. They gave me some ibuprofen, and I did have to sign a piece of paper. So they definitely keep up with who they're giving
They do.
stuff to.
Yeah.
It's not just like they're handing it out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was given some ibuprofen, and I was good.
There you go.
I was good to go.
Yeah. That. So we've done that. For headaches and various stuff. You're right. That's always a great choice. Go to First Aid. If it's anything minor, they'll give it to you. We've gotten Band-Aids there. We've gotten, Tylenol, Advil.
Don't they, First Aid and like baby care typically together?
Yeah, they are typically they're right next to each other. Yeah.
Because I remember years ago, we went with some friends, and they had the little girl was, I want to say a year old, maybe 18 months. Anyways, they brought her pacifier. That was, that was her thing. And she kept, like, we were pushing the stroller, and she kept throwing it out, right?
Okay.
At one point, a cast member swept it up in their little bin, and the mom was like, "Can I get that out?"
That's a brave move right there.
It's a brave move. But you also got to remember at that point, that was years ago. So
we were
we barely had enough money to get there.
Right. Well, and like,
so
hey, if that's the only pacifier you got,
that's it.
Listen, we're just gonna have to rinse
so
this
what
thing
we
off
didn't
and move on.
realize is, our thought at the time was, oh, we're gonna have to leave and go to find a Target or somewhere to get get a pacifier. But it ended up she lost it at some point in the week, and again we asked a cast member like, oh, just go to the babysitter, and they've got.
I didn't know they did that.
You can get pacifiers, you can get diapers if you're out of formula. I mean,
wow,
like they keep it all stocked.
That's all. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it's not free.
Well, I mean, still, just the fact they have it.
Yeah,
at least,
I mean, it was just things that I don't know. I don't. When I think about going to Disney World, I'm not thinking about. I'm gonna need some ibuprofen. I mean, I'm getting older, so I do kind of think about that a little more now.
And that's like I have it, but it's all in my like bag at the rim. I'm not taking it to the park with me.
No, me neither.
Because I don't have. Where am I going to carry that? One of these days I'll break down. I'll get a fanny pack, but I'm not there yet.
Well, so do you guys take a stroller, right?
Well, we rent a stroller.
Okay, you rent a
I
stroller.
mean, so but there's no real storage on that either. There's like 2 little mesh cup holders.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I was going to say we normally end up like one of us will take a backpack.
Okay.
And so we throw some stuff in there.
Yeah.
Now we've licened up some, and we'll throw the backpack underneath the stroller.
No, that's fair. When we go as a family, Emily carries a backpack.
Yeah.
But of course, with 2 boys, all their stuff ends up in the backpack for some reason. So we typically only have. She would know what she puts in the backpack better than I do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she's probably more prepared than I realize.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Agreed.
But
because let's as a dad, if you're packing the backpack, we got nothing.
No, it's the bare essentials, and by bare essentials I mean what did we need when I was packing the backpack?
Yeah,
not what might we need while we are carrying the backpack.
Yeah,
that got left because nobody needed it this morning when I packed it up.
I completely agree.
We'd already put on sunscreen. Why would I bring more sunscreen?
Been numerous times when we've been at the parks and the kids want to play in water or something. I'm like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea because you're going to get soaking wet. Yeah. And let's just like, it's fine. I brought a change of clothes. Like you did what?
See, that's she's on it.
Yeah, she
I
is.
would not think of that.
No, me neither.
I would just say you can if you want to, but
yeah,
you're going to have to walk around wet. And I don't want to hear a word about it.
Yeah, that's normally that is my outlook. Like, okay, you're making this decision. Yeah. You will pay for your consequences.
It's an informed decision.
But no. No. I mean, we were there in January, and Joe was like, I'm cold. And I was like, there's a blanket underneath the stroller. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
No,
I just walk around
be doing
cold.
This podcast, or
she should,
one of these, how to prep.
We should do. That's what we should do. We should do a podcast.
Yeah.
How to prepare. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, when I go either with friends, the one time I've been by myself, whatever, I pack a backpack with the clothes that I'm going to need.
Me too.
And a toiletry bag that I can bring on the airplane.
Yep. Agreed.
And that's it. I've got a little pouch on the backpack that it's got a phone charger in it.
Right.
It's got my Magic Band in it with the charger for the Magic Band.
Yep.
I literally joke if somebody was like, "Hey, you have to go to Disney right now," I would just grab that backpack and go.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine.
Agreed.
It's even where I
way too much stuff.
Do what?
I said I always bring way too much stuff.
No. The thing that I say, even when we're packing, because I mean, again, I could. If you're like, hey, we leave in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I could get enough stuff together.
Yep.
In that time for a weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
And granted, Leslie, she's normally packing for the kids as well.
Oh yeah.
So, she's stressed out about, I got to bring this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and the thing I always tell her is like, if you forget something, we can buy it there.
Yeah.
Like we'll pay $5 more.
Yeah.
But we can buy it
there. But
you
can get it there.
Yeah. Which I mean, even thinking about like medicine.
Yep.
Any type of Band-Aids I've for sure done the whole like had blisters on my toes or something. I need a Band-Aid, you know. In most of the gift stores, you can buy.
Yep.
You pay like $4, and it's a variety pack, Band-Aids that you can get.
Well, and you can always do like an Instacart order.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've done the last couple of times, especially for like packs of water bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
To be delivered. Because man, you can save, like we can buy like a 24 pack of water bottles.
Yeah.
And they'll be like the Publix brand or whatever.
Sure.
It's like $5 for that. Or I can go buy one water bottle
for $5.
Yeah. Now I can use my annual pass holder discount for 20% off because it's merchandise if you buy it from the gift shop. Not if you buy it from the food court.
Which makes 0 sense.
Right. then you're going to pay full price because you don't get a discount on food unless it's table service.
Right.
But if you step right back out and buy it at the gift shop, 20% off.
Let me ask you this question. I don't know this answer. Okay, so we're gonna diverge for just a second. We'll bring it back. I promise.
In a little while.
Okay, so you're at the resort, and you don't get the refillable mug. What
Sure,
you
right.
You got a cup. Okay.
Yep.
So in order to make those things work, you got to sit your cup down. It's got it's a RFID chip.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Does that work for water? Or can anyone get water at any point in time? Can you just bring a random cup in, no chip, and get some water? Specifically out of. I'm not saying I know a lot of resorts have like water stations that you can fill in parks as well.
Yes. But you mean like in the.
Like, can I walk up to the Coke machine?
That's a good question.
Get my ice and just hold the water button and just get.
I don't know for sure, but I would be willing to bet they at least have a water dispenser somewhere nearby. And I say that only because Disney has a vested interest in making sure you drink plenty of water.
Absolutely.
It is Central Florida.
Yeah.
It is hot.
Yeah.
It is humid. You are going to be losing a lot of water.
A lot.
Depending
on when you go.
you're going to be losing a lot of water no matter what, to be
That's
honest.
fair. And you're going to be walking. I mean, I walk more when I'm there than I do in a typical day for sure.
I probably walk more in a day there than I do in a whole week here.
That's sad, but true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Desk job. Right?
Just be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mile and a half around the World Showcase Lagoon.
You know why I know this? Because when I was in high school, the marching band, we went and marched around World Showcase Lagoon.
Wow. Okay.
And so as like I don't know if you would call it conditioning in marching band.
Yeah, fair.
But we would go out on the track and we would march around 6 times and do the whole mile and a half thing. Yeah.
I mean,
to get ready.
Yeah.
So
that is fair. That's what you're going to have to do.
I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you've ever been standing in, say, Mexico.
Yeah.
And you see that the wait for Ratatouille is less than 40 minutes and try to dart out there, then you know just how far that is to get around.
Well, yeah, especially because it's you and 12,000 other people all attempting to get there at the same time.
Yeah. And everyone's going to end up there out of breath, only to realize that it's now 100 minutes.
Yes.
So,
no,
sorry.
Honestly, here's the trick to that. You see that Ratatouille is at a really low wait time. Maybe head to Frozen. Maybe head to Soarin'. Maybe head to Guardians now that that's an option.
Most likely anything other than
that's the
Ratatouille.
Thing. Don't go.
Don't go. Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to digress with that.
No, it was a good
listen,
digression.
if anyone who's listening to this has the answer for can you get water for free out of a Coke machine, comment below.
Yeah.
Tell us where you were at, where you were staying, all that kind of stuff, because I'm interested.
Picks or it didn't happen.
What?
Picks or it didn't happen.
That's what they always say.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we'll believe you.
time.
You don't have to provide pictures. We'll just believe you.
don't.
But no, loss of water. That brings me to my second medical experience at Walt Disney World.
That's right.
Yeah,
this
which
was
happened.
A few years back,
it was a few years back. Yeah. So Emily and I had gone down. It was actually for our 10th anniversary.
Okay.
But it was technically in year 11 because our 10th anniversary happened during COVID.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to Disney, and man, this was maybe our second or third day. I don't remember where in the trip this happened. We've been down there, and we went to Hollywood Studios. We were in line for Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. I can remember specifically where we were. And as we were in line, she was saying, like, I'm not feeling good, and all this. We'd eaten at Mama Melrose's. She was having stomach cramps, so we really thought, like, maybe you ate something bad there. And,
from the reviews I've read.
It was, I'll say this, and we'll get to this later. I won't miss it.
Yeah.
I ate there once. It was fine. Some people love it.
Yep.
And there are places I love to eat that some people hate, and that's fine.
Right.
Everybody gets their opinion.
Agreed.
In my opinion, I don't have to eat a Mama Melrose's again. But yeah, we were in line, and she wasn't feeling good. We thought maybe she'd eaten something bad there. And when we made that final turn, you're looking out over the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
You go down, you make that last turn. And so we're like, I don't know, 20 feet away from the cast member. And she said something, and I turn, and I can tell, like, just the look on her face, like the lights are out. You know what I mean?
No.
And so she goes down, like, literally, like, I grab her and, like, ease her down to the floor. And she's in trouble, you know? And so I'm looking around. The people are literally walking past us, like stepping over us. It was one of those moments where I was like, man, you guys suck.
Yep. This is the what was it? The bystander effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like literally, like she's clearly just like collapsed.
She's
you know,
out.
I'm trying to be like, hey, like you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna get this figured out. You just like stay calm, take deep breaths, whatever. And so I was like, literally, no one is helping. No one is even acknowledging that this has happened. And so I was like, I just told her, I
They
was
all
like,
assume that you've got it under control.
right. And I clearly don't.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I was like, I'll be right back. There's a cast member probably 20 feet away. I will be right back. And just kind of full backed my way through the crowd to get up to the cast member. I was like, my wife just passed out on the line. We're like right there. And so he gets out on his walkie-talkie. I go back to her. And within about 10 seconds, you know, we've got 3 or 4 cast members there.
Wow.
We get up. They take us straight through the room with Hondo. They're moving everybody out of the way. And right there where you go, you know, Hondo sends you on in and you step into that little hallway and it makes a really sharp curve either to the right or the left, depending on which side you're on. And there's a little doorway there with a chain across it. And it says cast members only. And they took us back there. And literally just on the other side of that is what looks like just a big industrial backstage area. Honestly, it looks like you're backstage at like any theater, kind of.
Really?
Took us back there and, you know, gave her a chair, got her some water, you know, kind of talking her through it. A fire truck came. She talked to the paramedics.
Wow.
They basically said, you're dehydrated and you need to be drinking a lot more water. They offered to take us to the hospital. She didn't want to do that. I don't blame her. We probably should have, because honestly, an IV probably would have fixed the rest of our day. But instead, they gave her a wheelchair, and I got to wheelchair her all the way out to the front of the park, and they said we could just leave it at the front of the park.
Okay.
I think we got an Uber back to our resort. We were staying at the Contemporary. We'd gone big.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, we ended up back at the resort, spent the rest of the day in the room, which sucked to lose a day like that.
But
it was nice
if
to
you're going
rest.
to be, you know, holed up in a resort, though.
It was a nice one to be holed up in.
Not
That was
the
the
worst.
time. That was the time too where they had put us up on the club level.
Oh, yeah.
The club stuff wasn't going on. We were on the club level.
Okay. But
and we
still.
could see this is where all the stuff would go on.
Yeah.
But it was still post-COVID. None of that had reopened yet. But yeah, it was incredible. So we did get to spend a day there.
Wait a minute. Was that a pun?
What?
You said it was incredible.
Well, at the time, it wasn't incredible yet.
Oh.
This was right before they did the
Man, I
remodel.
thought you
That's
were- okay.
no,
All right.
man.
That was going to
smooth.
be good.
It wasn't though.
Yeah, like I literally thought you laid it right out there.
I
And
did
was like,
not, no.
that was good.
No, this was before
Okay.
it was incredible.
Okay.
It was just fancy.
Okay.
But yeah, we did get to stay there. While I bought her like 4 Powerades from the vending machine down the hallway, and she hates Powerade, Gatorade. Like it's just
get
she
it.
doesn't like it. And you know, I'm like, you don't have a choice. You have to drink this.
Yeah.
All of them. So she recovered. We enjoyed the rest of our trip. Coincidentally, on that trip, the last night before we got on the plane, I woke up all night long with like the worst heartburn I've ever had. I think I just ate way too much of just in general.
Yeah. That'll get you.
Yeah. So that's another way you can interact with the medical staff at Disney. If you pass out in a line, you get to go see a backstage area.
Okay.
Yeah. The Reedy, at the time, it was the Reedy Creek Fire Department. I guess now it's the,
I don't know.
I forget what they call it now.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. But at the time, it was still Reedy Creek.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, I'm a little nervous to go back to Disney with you at this point, but
you know, other than those 2 times and a few random trips to First Aid, just little things though. Just little things. Those are the only 2 big things that I can recall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some sunburn.
I mean, I've seen a couple of medical emergencies.
Same.
I've seen. This one time stands out to me where there was a lady. We were standing at the right in front of the train station in Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Right there at the front.
No, well, at the beginning of Main Street.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what yeah.
Yeah.
That one, not the other
not the
2. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't. What do you call that area? It's not the hub, but it's kind of like a.
Well, you know,
like
Tony's
town center.
Tony's
or
Town
whatever.
Square is right
Yeah,
next to it, so I'll just call it Town Square.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like we're losing all credibility for being Disney fans right now. But
yeah.
Anyways.
I'll look on the app. See what
Okay.
they call it.
Tell me what do they call that? Anyway, so we're standing there. We're taking a picture with the kids, and they're eating their snacks and stuff. and there was a lady that she was talking with her family, turned around to walk off, and she didn't realize she was, I guess, standing on the sidewalk and just missed a step and fell and landed on her arm. And I think, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but they ended up having to call, EMS. One time I remember from years ago, we were eating at Cosmic Rays, and this is before, do you remember? So now all of there's just indoor seating at Cosmic Rays, but there used to be an outdoor area.
Right. Yeah.
They closed. Okay.
Yep.
So it was a hot day. We were sitting there having lunch we were outside, and there was a family that had come by, and it was a mom and I think her mom and the kids. Well, all of a sudden I hear this one lady saying, "Mom, mom, mom," and we look over, and the grandmother was just head back, like.
Ooh.
Not responsive.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, no, that was not a good way to enjoy lunch. And it wasn't, literally minutes before there were EMS staff there. And she was dehydrated.
Sure.
That's all, that's all it was.
Well, and that's, so when Emily had her incident, that's, they told us, they said, because it was like mid 70s, we weren't even sweating.
So it's not like it's 90 degrees.
No.
Yeah.
And they said that's actually like the worst time that they have people get dehydrated, because first of all, if you've flown, you're probably slightly dehydrated from the flight.
Okay.
Because the air on the plane is so dry and everything. Plus that travel, like the stress of travel is a lot more than you think.
Right.
And then, it's not hot. So you're not drinking that much water, and you might be drinking other stuff. I don't think we did that day. Because this is like right after lunch,
right.
So it's not like we've been drinking.
But also, even if you're just drinking soda every time you eat instead of drinking water.
Yeah.
Which in the early years, I would always get, I'm going to get a burger, fries, and a Coke or whatever.
Sure.
And now I pretty much drink water.
Yeah. Well,
everywhere we go.
Since then, she and I both, pretty much I will buy a bottle of water, and when I'm done with it, I'll go buy another one. Now, it does mean I know where every single bathroom and every single park is, and I've used probably all of them because I'm peeing nonstop.
Well, it's fine.
That's,
the alternative is passing out.
Yeah. Given the option.
Yeah.
I'd rather just pee.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, that is the one piece of advice that I would give anybody that goes, first of all, wear sunscreen. You are going to get burnt. I don't care what you think. You're going to get burnt.
And that sun is hot.
It is hot. And then the other thing too is drink water. Just drink lots and lots of water, especially if you're going to be doing the drinking around the world or anything like that. Drink lots and lots of water. You're going to have a much better time. You're going to feel a lot better. Just drink more water.
No, I completely agree. Did you figure out what's it called?
I think it's just part of Main Street USA. I don't know that it could be. Well, this says Town Square. It could be called Town Square.
Let's call it Town Square.
Again, the Town Square Theater and Tony's Town Square.
It makes sense.
It does. But yeah.
It's not really a square, but it's fine.
It's square-ish. It's rectangular. The town rectangle? Yeah.
It doesn't sound the same.
No.
Well, it's fine. Okay, so we talked about some of our stuff. I did a little bit of research, and I think we talked about most of these in terms of what you can do if you do become sick or you become injured in Disney World. We've already talked about, so in the parks, they mentioned there you can locate first aid, which is if you just look on the app, or any cast member is going to be able to direct you to wherever first aid is. Let's see here. Yep, they have nurses that are available that can give you some medicine, some bandages, whatever it is that you need. You talked about Advent Health and kind of what that experience was like. Of course, if there's ever emergency, call 911. Even if you're standing in the middle of Magic Kingdom at the hub, call 911.
Yep.
They will come get you. At your resort, you've mentioned, like, you've experienced all these things, and I'm not sad that I haven't. But,
I'm not excited that I have.
Well, you call the front desk if you're not feeling well. Especially if you want to go to urgent care, as Britt mentioned, free transportation. Yeah. So they'll come pick you up. You can also get in-room medical services; those are available if you really, really need it. And I think you can also get it video as well.
You can. So we did try to do that initially through the Advent Healthcare app. it never did connect for us, and honestly, I did not like their app at all.
Yeah.
So your mileage may vary on that one. It is technically an option, and maybe it would have been easier. We kind of did that because we were just trying not to go to urgent care, but they were going to send us there anyway, because obviously they did end up lancing and draining the spot on his toe. They weren't going to do that, over video.
No. You mean they don't walk you through it?
I mean, they might have. I don't know.
The cast member knocks on the door. Hey, Mr. Ratliff, we've got your medical supplies here.
Thank you.
No, that somehow would not be the same experience, I don't think.
No, I don't believe it would. But, Yeah, and honestly, the first aid in the parks too, when you go in there, the little lobby area, if you've ever gone like around the corner, it's like a fully furnished urgent care facility. Like they've got beds, they've got everything you could need. So whatever's going on in the park, that's where they're going to take you first. And they're going to be able to take good care of you there. And while we're talking about drinking water too, I meant to mention this earlier. If it is a hot day at Disney, there is free water definitely all over the parks. And there is always free water at the first aid center. Yeah. So if you have a water bottle, you want to go fill it up. It's not just water, it's ice cold water.
Right.
And they will gladly let you have the water. Mm-hmm. You can sit in there. It's air conditioned. You can cool off for a little bit. They will encourage you to drink more and more water, because that is primarily who comes into the first aid center.
Sure.
In all of the parks are people who are dehydrated and have passed out.
I'm pretty sure at any like quick service restaurant even,
yes,
you can order ice water and it's free. You don't have to pay.
Always free. You can get it
$4, $5, whatever it is.
Any quick service, you can't necessarily get it at like all the food stands in Epcot, because not all of them have water available, like tap water available. That is the only caveat to that, and I only know that because I think it was the tea place there in China.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That I saw somebody ask one time, and they basically said we can't because we don't have it, but you can go right over to, I forget the quick service places. They're just right across.
Orange Blossom, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's it.
There's also water fountains all over the place.
Yeah. There are a lot of options to get water.
Yeah, and like I said, especially in recent years, they've been installing those water like fill stations.
Yep.
So I mean, you can always bring a bottle with you and fill it up as much as you want. One of the things that Disney does highlight is just prevention, and some of the things we talked about. Stay hydrated. That's their number one thing. Number two, which this could be, you can do it, but avoid greasy or acidic foods.
That seems like that's I don't know. Yeah.
Here's the thing. A lot of times when I go to Disney World, part of what I want to do is eat really greasy and acidic foods.
I 100% agree.
Like
that's why I'm there.
The whole, exactly. Yeah. That's the whole, not the whole point of me going, but that's one of the major points of me going. Yeah. Obviously, pack, any types of medication or anything. But as we've highlighted, it's not like you're going to a third world country here. Like you're in the middle of Orlando. Right. There's pharmacies everywhere.
Yes.
You can order it. They'll bring it to you. You can there's plenty of options if you were to forget your medication.
Unless it's something more specific, you know. But your general painkillers, Tums, Alka-Seltzer, Benadryl, they're going to have all of that available.
Yeah, they'll have all that at the resort. And when I was looking, if you need any type of medical equipment, you can also rent that or buy it from Advent Health as well. Okay. I did not know that.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I also didn't know that you could access that through the My Disney Experience app, but you can.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I had to go searching for it because, again, thankfully, I've never. While we've been there, I've never really had to look for it.
But you're right. It is available. At least some of this is available through the app.
Yeah. I mean, it basically links you out to the Advent Health site, but you don't have. Yeah, you don't have to look it up, Google it, whatever. So we've been talking about what to do. If you get sick or you get injured in Disney World. But what we really want you to do is stay well. Because if you don't, then you're going to miss out on all the things that are coming in 2025.
Hopefully,
could be, maybe.
Yes. Some of them will be.
Some of them will be.
Some of them will probably get delayed.
It could happen. Are you still suffering from the Epcot / Tron experience?
I watched Tron grow up.
Yeah.
Over years. And
over
Epcot,
many
man.
years.
Yeah, many years. And Epcot, man, that was a long time to replace a paved concrete area with a paved concrete area.
Yeah.
With more landscaping. I'll give them that. I do like
the landscaping is not, but I love the fountain.
Here's the thing. Right in front of the Walt statue, there's the big planter area in the center.
Yes.
Why is it not a fountain?
I don't know.
It obviously should be a fountain.
I don't know.
Like, you look at it and you think that's clearly a fountain that they planted stuff in.
It's probably even got the piping to become a fountain at some point.
It's obvious to me, at least at one point, it was a fountain.
Yeah.
And then they decided, let's just put some plants in it instead.
So one of my favorite memories of Epcot was when Lennon was little. He's probably a couple years old. And we're eating at, I think it was the Electric Umbrella. Is that what the name of that restaurant that was there? It's Connections Cafe.
Yeah.
So anyways, there was a little patio area. We're sitting out on the patio. It's nighttime. The fountain is doing his thing.
Yep.
But they're playing, oh shoot, his name just left me. Who's the famous music producer? David, not David Benoit, David. When I know his name, Michael Bublé, Andre Bocelli, Celine Dion, Josh Groban. He's produced all of them. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When I say his name,
like this.
I think he did some work with Chicago. He did
David Foster.
David Foster.
There it is.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I do know the name David Foster.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, his arrangement of Carol of the Bells.
Okay.
It's the one that people set their lights to.
Okay.
You know? Okay.
Yep.
That's playing, and the fountain is going. And so now, anytime, like Lyndon hears that, he goes, "Oh, it's Disney's Christmas," and it's like,
Nice.
yeah, it is kind of. But anyway, so like I just have that like heartfelt kind of cherished memory, whatever. And so when they said they were gonna do all the work at Epcot, it was like, okay, it's fine, and it's nice. I mean,
It is. It's nice.
I don't hate it.
No, in fact, I would even say I like it. I
Yeah.
just don't think it's real. It feels like a real lateral move from what they had.
Right.
But they spent a really long time making
did.
this move.
The Mana stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
It's cooler than what I thought it was going to be.
I'll say this, especially for being at Epcot, it feels like one of the most Epcot things at Epcot.
Right.
Because it teaches you all about water. And that is one thing.
Edutainment.
It's edutainment, exactly, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of sorely missing from Epcot. That was my favorite thing about Epcot as a kid. I loved edutainment video games and stuff.
Right.
So I loved just the whole vibe of Epcot as a
It's
kid.
just
You could go and
curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I think it has lost a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's still sort of there in a few places, but generally speaking, especially in it used to be Future World. I forget what they call it now.
This is neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I should know this.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Either way, the first part of Epcot, not the World Showcase, at this point really it feels to me like it's lost a lot of that. There's still a little bit of it here and there. Like if you ever go watch Awesome Planet.
Right.
Which is...
I haven't. Never.
We have, and it's...
I mean, Living with the Lamb, we talked about that. Was it last episode? We did the...
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yep.
Why can I
Sync.
think? Yeah. Gosh, why can I not think?
No, Living with the Land. No, Awesome Planet. It's worth a watch. I enjoyed Awesome Planet.
Did you ever do Ellen's Energy Adventure before it was...
I don't remember doing it as a kid, so I'm going to assume no.
Okay. I mean, it was 45 minutes.
Right.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of learning.
It is a lot of learning.
Well, here's the thing that the first time I wrote it, it's just kind of sad now, but you walk in, it's this massive theater, right? And then you watch this film, and then the theater starts moving all of a sudden, and these cars get together in like a train, and they go through this whole. It was
a really cool idea.
It was something.
Yeah. No, because you've got like Spaceship Earth still has that vibe.
Yes. For now. Which they were going to redo that, and that went on the chopping block.
And I love Spaceship Earth. Like, it is truly one of my favorite rides. But it could use a
World Celebration. That's what it's called.
Oh, it's World Celebration?
Mm-hmm.
And then World Showcase? Is that the other?
World Celebration. Then you've got World Nature, which is like the seas, living with the land.
Okay.
You've got World Discovery, which is Guardians, Mission Space,
okay.
Test Track, World Showcase.
All right. Well,
yeah.
whatever. That works, I guess. Yeah, no, I will say the Seas area is probably the most Epcot-y part of Epcot left, because you can, that's pretty cool. Although it arguably belongs at Animal Kingdom, but that's all right.
But when it opened, it was like the largest aquarium.
I can believe that.
I can't remember if it's on the east part of the before they opened the Georgia Aquarium.
Sure.
It was like the one tank or whatever.
Yep.
Was, I don't know.
It is a very impressive place to go in and walk around, and you can learn a lot of stuff there. And
cool.
What's
incredible to me about that, we're veering off, but I mean, it's aquarium inside of a theme park.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's some places you would pay just to get in to see.
True.
Just that, like the aquarium. Part of it.
And it's a very legit aquarium too. I mean, they do like all the conservation stuff. They do, research and stuff there. Like, it is a legit facility. It's not just a nice fish tank.
Did you ever watch, was it called Days of Thunder or Days in Paradise? The old TV show with Hulk Hogan?
Must be Days because,
It's something.
I don't know.
Part of it was filmed there.
Was it really?
Yeah. There's like there's some offices. And I'm assuming for I don't know if it was like a corporate sponsor or something originally.
Okay.
But they have some offices and some dining areas there that are private.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of different scenes where it's like a guy sitting at a desk and behind him is a wall of.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a niche bit of trivia.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. Dude, I
loved that show when I was a kid, but
I would pay to do like a tour of the old like corporate lounges and stuff that are there in Epcot. Because
speaking of which, you kind of, I mean, one of the things coming this year is the Spaceship Earth Lounge.
Yeah.
Which we recently, I did not know this. Maybe they announced it previously. 21 and up for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, that's a bold move for Disney.
Yeah.
But one that I will say, I think, I don't know. I've seen a lot of mixed opinion on this because I've seen a lot of people say, it's a place for kids and all that. And it is. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a place to bring your kids. But it's also a place for adults.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been to Epcot on a Friday night.
Yeah.
During a festival. And it does not feel like a place for kids.
No.
Well,
it's not inappropriate for kids.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying the kids should be gone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's plenty of people who have had way too many drinks.
Sure.
I was about to say there's too much. I mean, the festival's called Food and Wine, for goodness sakes.
Right.
It is. It
Half
is.
of that the kids can't participate in.
And that's what, I mean, there's, you've already alluded to it. There's drinking around the world.
Yeah.
Challenges,
Right. People wearing shirts all about it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it, honestly.
Me too. And I think it does make sense at Epcot. Now,
it does.
I don't think it makes sense to put a 21 plus lounge at Magic Kingdom, where there's only one place in the whole park you can get a beer.
Before they started serving alcohol.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can get it at
Skipper Canteen.
Can you get a beer or guess some wine maybe?
You can get wine. I don't think you can get beer. I think beer, the only place you can get beer, I think, is at Skipper Canteen.
I think you're right.
And I do recommend if you go, get the Kungaloosh. It's fantastic.
You kind of have to.
Yeah. It's brewed specially for Disney World.
If you go to Skipper Canteen and you don't get the Kungaloosh or the cheese bread.
The Brazilian cheese bread, which, by the way, is never on the menu. It's always on the secret menu.
Oh, and it's delicious.
It is fantastic.
Whatever the green, is it like a chimichurri or something?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's a chimichurri. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. Go order the Brazilian cheese bread. It will never be on the menu, but it's always there.
It will always
It's always
be
on the menu. Yeah. Yeah. And it is always good.
That's one of the, I mean, like, it's not something. Whenever the lounge at Spaceship Earth opens, I don't know that I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I have to get there immediately. No. But I'll check it out.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it'll be as cool as like Oga's Cantina, where you are in a Star Wars cantina. But I'll definitely go check it out for sure.
So how do you feel about the Pirates Lounge that's coming? Is it a pirate-inspired tavern is what Disney is calling it?
I mean, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I like pirates.
And me too.
I like a good tavern.
All the things.
I'll go check it out.
Right.
I will say when it comes to lounges and restaurants and stuff like that, I mean, for me, sure, it's cool. I'll go check it out. I'm not planning a trip specifically to go for that,
Well, because I mean, like, think about. I remember when Space 220 first opened.
Oh, it was impossible to get in.
Impossible to get in.
Oga's was the same way.
Yeah.
Oga's was real hard to get into for a while, and now it's honestly not hard at all to get into.
Right.
And I think it's kind of the same. Oga's is fun. I've been maybe 3 times.
Okay.
I'll go again if somebody wants to go, but
Right.
I'm not kicking the door down to get there.
Yeah.
And that's no slight to Oga's. It's good. It is expensive.
It is.
And
I've
once
only,
you've done it, you've done
I've been
it.
there once.
Yeah.
And I was with you guys, and
Yeah.
we stood up, and I
You
felt.
gotta stand the whole time.
I mean, I felt like I was in my. I don't know. I just felt old because I had
Yeah.
to get my phone out and
It's
use
very
a
dark.
flashlight
Yep.
just to see the menu.
It's very dark. It's very loud. That's where we are now.
That's where we are. I blame it on the location.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Batu.
But it was good.
It's all those aliens, man. They're
that's
loud.
The aliens. They
Get
take
off
up
our
all
lawn.
the space. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
That's how old we are now.
I did feel that moment when I saw a bunch of teenagers sitting like around this nice table, and we're standing up on the side, and I was like, "Respect your elders, kids."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about the lounge that's coming to Epcot. We talked about the Pirates inspired tavern that's coming. Those are both coming in 2025. It looks like the lounge is slated to open sometime this spring, and then Pirates inspired tavern sometime late. They say late 2025, which
yeah. They haven't started on it yet, have they?
yeah, I think the construction walls are up.
Okay.
They were redoing the gift shop. The Pirates
Oh
gift
yes,
shop
no,
and
they
all
definitely
that.
were. Yeah. No,
So
that's yeah. No, when I was there last time,
Yeah.
they had all that walled off, so that does. Make
I'm not
sense.
sure if that's exactly where it's at, but I'm assuming there was probably prep work.
Yeah.
Being done.
Yeah.
There was oh shoot, what do they call it? It's not Bippity Bop. It was the pirate version of Bippity Boppity Boutique
Right.
that was
Yeah.
there at Pirates, and I wonder
Yeah.
if they're taking up some
Probably.
of
That would make sense.
that.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So that's coming. Let's see here. Looking at my list. I guess the thing for 2025. Let me back up a little bit. Epic is opening.
Yeah. Soon.
Not a Disney.
Not at Disney. No.
No. And Epic is bringing you the Mario World,
Yep.
How to Train Your Dragon,
Yep.
which I saw a video the other day where they've like there's going to be a dragon that's going to be flying over, breathing fire.
It looks incredible.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
They go look this stuff up.
So they've been testing it a lot at night, so people can't film it.
You see the fire and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they started testing it during the day. Everybody started filming it, so they started doing all the testing like literally in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the roller coasters, Diddy Kong,
The Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, Donkey Kong roller like
that does like
it looks.
I
neat.
want to ride that really
Yeah.
bad. It looks really cool.
It does look good.
More Harry Potter,
More Harry Potter,
which I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I like Harry Potter just fine. Nothing against it. Just I think it's really cool though that there's a Harry Potter place at all 3 of their parks now.
Yeah.
And it's all connected. That to me is really awesome.
All that to say, that's what Universal is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
In 2025.
Yeah.
And Disney for 2025 is giving you some lounges,
Yeah.
a new parade.
Woo.
Yeah, I don't get excited. I mean, it'll be
It's neat.
fine.
It's
I'm
neat.
sure.
I'll watch it at some point. I don't know. I'm not a big.
I'm
I
not
don't really
a
get into
parade
parades.
guy.
Yeah.
I mean, either. What I would rather be doing is riding all the rides.
Yes.
With short lines.
Yes.
Instead of watching a parade.
I would too. Now, give me a fireworks show. I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'll watch the fireworks show.
I will too.
But I agree. The parades just. Honestly, this happened last time we were down there and walked out of Tiana and went across the street to go over to Pirates, and the 3:00 parade was coming through.
What time is that?
A couple weeks ago when I was there.
No.
Oh yeah,
That's the
I
joke.
get
What time's the
what
3
you're
o'clock
saying.
parade?
Yeah, what
Sorry.
time's 3 o'clock? Yeah, I'm on board now.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair to people though, it is confusing because the
It
parade
is.
does begin at 3:00, but not at Main Street where everybody is waiting.
No.
It's going to take it 20 minutes or so to get there,
At least.
at least. But yeah, when you exit Tiana and you're trying to get across to Pirates,
Right.
you can't because
You
there's a
can't.
parade going on, and everybody leaving Pirates to come ride Tiana can't get across either. And so when the parade is finally done, it's like a mosh pit
Oh yeah.
trying to get across.
It's
here.
awful.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of annoyed at the parades.
Yeah. Is this a nighttime one?
I think this one is, yeah.
So I would take that.
Which they did used to have. They had the electric parade. Was that what it was called? Electric light parade, something like that.
It's a spectro electrical,
something like that.
Parade.
It was cool. I remember seeing that when I was younger. I do remember it being really cool.
Yes.
So this one might be too. But I'm probably not going to camp out on Main Street at like 5 o'clock to get my ideal spot to watch this parade.
Neither. Spectromagic.
Spectromagic. There you go. Mm-hmm. What a term.
All these terms that I feel like I should know. I should be able to rattle these off.
Yeah,
Boom, boom,
we'll
boom.
we'll do better.
Yeah.
For the audience. We'll read ahead next time.
I mean, we're just making it up as we go. So
yeah,
that's why we're Googling as we go. Okay, yeah. So the parade. The thing, honestly, that I'm most excited about is Test Track 3.0.
Absolutely.
Yep. Same.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's the one, right?
Have you seen that they've been testing ride vehicles?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, which will make me sad the next time I go and I hear them testing.
Yeah,
and I can't ride.
Yeah, it's been weird going though. Like I didn't realize how used to hearing Test Track I was. Because it's honestly, I'll be honest, it's kind of annoying to hear it all the time. But having gone and not heard it, which has been nice because it is, it's not that constant annoying sound.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has made me sad to look over there and
it's
not doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
But yeah, they've done a lot of work. You can see the work on the outside of it. They've done. I mean, they dug up concrete and they're redoing the whole front of it, whole brand new entrance. So yeah, I'm excited that they are testing ride vehicles again. I think that one will be open, honestly, around the time they said it would.
I'll be interested to see what they do. Do you still get to create your own car?
Yeah, I hope they keep that part of it.
Does it go back to more of the, not necessarily the test dummy vibe, but the whole, we're testing the vehicle out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more of testing an actual vehicle out and not one that you've, not a simulation.
Yeah. I'd be fine because some of it is supposed to isn't it supposed to kind of celebrate transportation in general? Like I'd be kind of cool if they incorporate, like I said, get some of that Epcot vibe back to it.
World of Motion that was there originally.
Yeah, exactly. Like do a little homage to that, and let's see what it's actually. I don't know. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, me too.
They didn't ask me though.
They didn't ask me. I didn't even know that they were going to do it. I didn't know there was anything wrong with Test Track 2.0.
I didn't think there was, but it was a little old. I guess it had been there for a while.
It was starting to show it, and it does break down. Frequently throughout the day. So I don't know if this was like, hey, we got to do so much maintenance on this anyways.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and redo it.
But here's the thing is, when they closed Splash Mountain and changed it over to Tiana and reopened it, that ride shuts down all the time.
It does.
And it's the same ride.
It's the same.
So it doesn't give me hope that Test Track 3.0 will shut down less frequently than if anything, I think it'll be open for about 15 minutes a day.
And then it'll close back.
Yeah. And at least like Tiana's, it's got those really fancy animatronics. So but it's also got like backup screens at different times where the animatronics should be. I think when we saw it, and that was like the launch week, it still had a lot of stuff like the screens up.
Yeah, some of them they have in like B mode, where they're just kind of stationary and stuff.
But this track is pretty straightforward.
Until they add all the animatronics. I would be totally okay if there is like a fully animatronic crash test dummy or something on there. I think that
would be hilarious.
That would be
I would be
that would be a cool tribute.
Well, and I wonder what are you going to do with the so the scene you're going through all the curves and everything, you go down the hill and there's like the 18-wheeler that's coming at you. You go around it obviously it was a surprise when it was the 1.0. 2.0 it's in the dark and then it all lights up.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for 3.0?
Just actually make it come out and hit you.
That's the only option.
That's where
it's going to get a little
once a day. It just plows right into.
Yeah.
So you never really know if you're.
I wouldn't be surprised if they add some air to it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you feel like it's hitting you.
Dry your contacts out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about that. Zootopia. You got to ride.
I did. I was on.
It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Tough to Be a Bug on the day it closed.
Oh, wow.
I was there. Yeah.
By accident, right?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was the day it closed.
Did you
keep your glasses? Some people were keeping theirs.
No. In fairness, we just had the standard purple, the standard. They weren't the Tough to Be a Bug glasses. Gotcha. which I honestly I didn't even realize until I saw that people were taking their glasses, and apparently like managers were out there checking everybody to make sure that they weren't taking their glasses, and I was like, ours were just the normal ones, and we rode it like we were in the morning, and it was like 11:15 or something like when we rode it. I think
they probably were just switching them over so that people would be less incentivized to steal them.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got to go do it the last day, and Tough to Be a Bug is it was fine. I enjoyed it. I can't imagine how they ever thought that was an appropriate show for kids. As they
one of the rides of all time.
Yeah. As they threatened to murder you a few different ways, actually.
I can remember the first time I rode it. When they do the whole bee sting thing.
Oh yeah.
And from that point forward, I would always lean up.
Yep.
Every single time, because when I was 10 when I rode it to begin with. And
what about the ants crawling under your pants
at the very end?
Yeah, that's just awkward.
Yeah.
The whole ride, I keep calling it a ride. Yeah. The whole thing
Experience.
is awkward.
Yeah.
It
was
neat.
fun though.
It's neat. It definitely neat the very first time you see it.
Yes,
it is. And as an adult, when the spiders come flying down, I realize they're not real spiders, and I'm sure the kids do too. But oh my gosh,
even as an adult, I don't like that. Like I know they're coming down. I just keep looking forward. They'll be gone here in a minute.
Yep.
I don't want to look up and see them.
They'll go away at some point.
Yep.
And
don't care for
the
that at
giant
all.
grasshopper.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I even remember seeing the spiders.
You don't?
No.
Yeah. Because you were so terrified by everything else going on.
I'm pretty sure my glasses were like awful. They were like bent or something.
These are the actual like spiders that drop from the ceiling all over the place.
I know, but because of how bad my glasses were, I just couldn't I couldn't focus on anything.
You could have had water on them. You could have been recovering from the foul smell of the
stink bug. Yeah.
Multiple things.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do.
I like Zootopia. I think it's a great movie.
I agree. It is a good movie.
I am excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really good. It has a lot of potential. So we'll see.
It does. How do you feel about Dinosaur going away?
It's fine with me. The Dinosaur is, in my opinion, Dinosaur. It was kind of a cool ride back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the movie, Dinosaur movie?
No.
Okay, well, never mind.
I didn't even know there was a dinosaur movie, to be honest.
Until I just said this?
Yeah.
Or
what? Wait, what?
I mean,
movie?
It's called Dinosaur.
Is it based on that ride or vice versa?
Well, so I think here's what happened. The ride opened as Countdown to Extinction. And then they came out with this dinosaur movie. And they said, oh, let's call it Dinosaur. It's corporate synergy.
Not really related at all, though.
Well, I mean, I think there's I'm no paleontologist here. An Allosaurus or something like that. Yeah, that's it. The movie kind of follows the life of this dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he's in it.
Yeah. Is that the one?
Wait.
You have to say?
That's the one that we're trying to get.
Okay.
So
the for anyone who is listening and has never ridden the ride or doesn't remember the ride, the general story of the ride is you go to this dinosaur museum or institute or whatever, and there's this one scientist. He's invented time travel, right? And he is working to secretly send you back in time.
Iguanodon.
Okay.
That's what you're trying to save.
Okay, so we have to go back and rescue this iguanodon and bring it back. And he's going to send us back in order to get it, and it's going to be right before the asteroid hits the Earth that wipes out the dinosaurs.
What a time to pick to do this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And so in the whole pre-ride, you kind of get that whole spiel, and his boss comes in, and she's like, you better not be up to anything. And he's like, I'm not. Don't worry. That'll be our little secret. And
he was up to something.
He was up to something. And so that's the whole first, but the start of the ride, you get in, you get sent back in time, and then you're driving through like this dinosaur jungle. You see all sorts of different dinosaurs. You're kind of identifying different ones, trying to find this iguanodon. And there is the Allosaurus that's chasing you?
No, the Carnotaurus.
Carnotaurus, Carnotaurus, which is
somehow scarier than a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Smaller arms.
Got horns.
Yeah, it does have horns. Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's just that ride is genuinely like that. I can see like how kids could be like terrified of that ride.
Yeah, it's in the dark.
It's a dark. Everything's flashing. The animatronics look very like good in that kind of
they do
environment.
They do, and it is several jump scares.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
it is.
So Leslie and I rode it. This is pre-kids, so it's been years ago. She had on what they call them, a monkey man jacket. You know, the jacket that has like the fur looking.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So we're in the scene where the Carnotaurus is like to your left. So the car takes off.
Yes.
Jeep takes off. Whatever.
It jumps out at you.
Well, it's like he's running with you, like he's chasing
Okay,
you. You know what I'm
yes,
talking about?
yep.
Okay. Something happened, and she got like, I don't know if it was like hydraulic fluid or something all over her jacket.
Ooh.
Completely ruined it.
Ooh.
And she has refused to ride the ride. And we told the cast member, hey, look what happened. And they gave her some type of like she got a sweatshirt or something. But
That's
this
not
is
the
a
same.
$200 jacket.
Right.
So even at that time, probably a $60 sweatshirt, you know,
Right.
not the same thing.
Yeah.
So she's refused to ride it, but I've ridden it with the kids. You know,
Yeah.
they enjoy it.
I don't think my kids have ever ridden it. I don't think they would enjoy it. Now, I will say this. One of the most hilarious memories I have when Emily and I went on our 10th anniversary trip, the one where she passed out, when we were at Animal Kingdom, we did ride Dinosaur.
Okay.
Now, bear in mind, this is like Disney has reopened. This is shortly after they've reopened for COVID. So we still have all the lines on the ground where you have to stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
You still have to wear your masks. They're still seating people every other row. All that stuff is still going on. And of course, they're not doing any pre-ride. You
just walk
none of
right
that.
through.
You're just walking straight through. You talk about a ride that is beyond confusing.
Oh yeah.
When you
sure.
don't get the
Yeah.
pre-ride, and I hadn't ridden it in probably, neither one of us had ridden it in probably almost 15 years.
Okay.
And so when we got on that ride without doing any of the pre-ride, and I was like, I vaguely remember, like, I know that like we see some dinosaurs. So we get in and you're just riding this Jeep that is just driving like a banshee.
Yeah. Also, like
Through
it
a jungle.
begins off like you feel like you're on the inside of a toaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like the red lights and the way
Yeah.
it does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it feels like I'm a Pop-Tart right now.
Yeah, and you get through, and this guy is like, "We have to hurry up and fight." You're like, "What are we looking for?" It's like, "Look out! This is what?" And then like all the dinosaurs are just screaming at you.
Yeah.
It's all very dark, and then you get to the end, and that's the funniest part because it does not explain on the ride what you're doing.
Right.
That is all in the pre-ride. So then when you get done with the very end of the ride, and you narrowly escape the asteroid, make it back to present day, and he's like, "Man, we got you out of there just in time." And then it's like, wait a second, what's this? And you can see on the security camera that the iguanodon has made it back too.
Yeah.
He's like, look who came back with you. Like, because you think like you missed your opportunity. You couldn't get him out. But when you get to the end of it and you didn't get the pre-ride at all, and he's like, hey, and look who came back with you. It's like, oh no, that's a problem. We accidentally brought a dinosaur with us.
Things we're chasing.
Yeah. Turns out it's a great thing.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
Anyway, if there's ever a ride to ride without the pre-show, that is absolutely the best one.
I got a little bit of sort of trivia information. So the Dinosaur movie came out in the year 2000. It ended up being technically a financial failure, even though it made $338 million worldwide. In its opening weekend in America, it made $38 million in just the opening week.
Yeah.
That's almost as much as Snow White just made recently.
Yeah, and that
It
is
is.
not adjusting for inflation.
No. And again,
So,
it was considered a failure, a flop.
Yeah.
Because it did not make back its costs.
yeah. No comment on Snow White.
That
Yeah.
you know that was a dark part of
We're talking about dinosaurs.
Disney Animation's
Yeah.
lifetime.
It was.
When Dinosaur was made.
Yeah. Just that general era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. My favorite little Easter egg thing on the dinosaur ride is, when you're going. Most people know this, so I'm sorry if you're listening. You probably already know what I'm gonna say. On the pipes, they have the is it like the chemical equation for
Yeah.
mustard,
Yep.
mayonnaise, and ketchup.
Yep.
Because it used to be a McDonald's. Restaurantosaurus used to be a McDonald's years ago. So some of those things I'll miss.
And it is a really cool. I will give it this. I do think it has one of the coolest ride queues.
Yeah,
Being
It's
able
neat.
to walk through, like it's a neat idea.
it is.
But the ride itself, when it goes, that's
From
fine.
my understanding, the ride system, even the track layout, is identical to Indiana Jones in
There you go.
Disneyland.
So it makes sense.
Um, Yeah,
It makes
and
as
I'm
much sense
honestly-
as putting Indiana Jones in Animal Kingdom is going to make,
Right.
which to me doesn't
Yeah.
make a whole lot of sense, but whatever.
Whatever. Right. Yeah.
This is where we're at this point. The parks don't have to make. Look at Hollywood Studios. It makes no sense.
Hollywood zero
It is just a mishmash of ideas.
of great attractions.
Arguably, though, still better than California Adventure, which is
Yeah.
an even worse mishmash of ideas.
Teeny tiny land space.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah. It's
Sorry to those of you who live in California.
no. I mean, it's my least favorite of all the Disney parks that I've been to, which just include the ones here in the States.
Yeah. Not to say that it's a bad park.
No,
I would
it's-
go back, to be clear.
I would go back.
But, yeah.
I would go back. Yeah. So that I mean, that's what's coming in 2025. There are things coming later on.
Yep.
You know, like if you're a big Tom Sawyer Island fan,
sorry.
Mornit's Death.
Yeah.
It's unalivening, I think is what you have to say.
All 12 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, when they made the announcement, I was like, no.
Yeah, same.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an opening day attraction. But then I realized I've only been over there twice.
I've never been over there.
And well, you should.
I don't even know how
That's-
to.
yeah.
I've seen this so many times that I have no idea. Like even
So you can take a boat right across
see,
from...
that's too much work.
That's the thing. You take the boat right across from Big Thunder Mountain.
It's
but the
not
problem
a
is,
boat, really. It's a.
yeah,
I mean, it is.
it's a pontoon boat made to look
raft.
like a raft. But,
Yeah.
but it only operates sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's
I
gone.
I
don't even
will
wanna
miss
know.
the look of it though. I will say, like walking through like Liberty Square or
Yes.
whatever and looking out at the water and the island and everything. I like that.
Right.
I don't think I'll enjoy walking through and looking at
That's the thing. You don't know what you're
cars.
going to be
Yeah,
looking at.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wait,
I may love
Cars
the,
is going over there.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to fill it all in and turn
like
it into
like an
cars.
How do you-
outdoor
That is so like snap change.
four-wheeling ATV
Yeah.
adventure.
Huh.
Which does look like it'll be neat
Yeah.
Okay.
and noticeably different from the Cars ride at California Adventure.
Yeah. It
I'm
will be.
curious how
And
they're
I mean,
going to-
what I think it will match is the aesthetic of Frontierland.
I agree with that.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm
So
curious
I-
how they're going to cover that all up while they're doing that.
Walls.
Yeah, I don't know if they will. I mean, they'll put walls up, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to go.
There's
Yeah,
not
you're
gonna
It'll
be-
go
going to
vertical.
see it.
not going to be a pretty way to do that one.
No.
No, but in fairness, I mean, that's kind of like when they changed Splash Mountain into Tiana and it was covered in scaffolding for months.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't pretty, but, you know, they got it done.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be interested to see how they did they move the train around? You know, did they give us? Because honestly, to me on the train, once you leave the Frontierland station, it sucks. I mean,
that's fair.
you know, there's not a ton to look at.
No.
If you're, I don't even know if you have to be eagle-eyed, but you can see like, oh, that's clearly a bridge where there's
Right.
roads.
Yeah.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and so you just, I don't know. It's
Yep.
so I hope they do something,
Yep.
with that. Okay, so anyways, we talked about some things that are coming this year. We could, I guess, continue talking about things that are coming later on with Cars and Monsters Inc. and that kind of stuff. But maybe we'll save that for another podcast. What I would like for us to do, and this is going to be a tough. So we said that we were going to tell you one of our favorite things in the parks. So I want to know, what is your all's favorite snack? And let me don't include like festival foods.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry if that was your one.
Well, I wasn't sure. I was actually like hoping one of you all would go first so I can get a good example.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. I
Well-
am going to go first with the festival food since we're tossing festival foods out.
Okay,
If
go
you
ahead. Give
if
us
you
the
go
festival
to Flower
food.
and Garden
Yes.
2025,
Okay.
they're in, let's see, Communicore Hall.
Yep.
Not the booth
In the-
inside, not the one inside.
World Celebration area.
Yes.
Okay, I knew it.
Yes. Right out there in the Encanto sing along, dance along.
Yes.
Here's the DJ. That whole area.
Okay.
That booth right there, the Cubanito sandwich
Okay.
That sounds good.
is fantastic.
What is on said sandwich?
It's just a tiny Cuban sandwich. So
Oh,
you've got
yeah,
pork,
okay.
you've got ham,
Cubanito.
you've got Swiss cheese
Yep.
and pickles.
Yeah. So would that fall into the
and mustard, I
greasy
guess.
or acidic food that we said to steer
It
clear
would
of?
have to fall. Well, I don't know. It's got pickles on it. It could be a little bit of
It's
both.
healthy.
Yeah, exactly. It's got
It's
a
a
vegetable.
cucumber.
It's got a vegetable.
Got a vegetable.
It's green.
It's
It's
got
green.
it's
It's
got
healthy.
all the major food
Okay,
groups.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is my favorite thing that I had this past time. I still think about it.
And it would be considered a snack.
Yeah, It would be. But if we're going to take festival food out of it, which I do think is fair.
Yeah. So for this question, I'm thinking of like, what's
You
something
can get any time of the year.
Any time of the year. Any time of the year you can go and you're gonna get this. So think Mickey ice cream premium bars.
Yeah.
Think
That's I'll say.
What are you going for? What's the snack
I'll
that you're
go
going
ahead
for?
and I'll say the Mickey ice cream bar is probably my favorite thing.
Okay.
I just love a simple ice cream covered in chocolate shell.
It's good.
It is so good. Yeah.
It is good.
And the challenge is to eat it before it melts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's delicious. I do have to throw in my own festival food though.
Go for it.
The stupid grilled cheese with the tomato soup.
yeah.
I think about it all the time. It's so good.
Yep.
The old grilled cheese. I haven't had it. There's something to me about eating a grilled cheese and tomato soup when it's chilly that I like that idea.
Yes.
I don't like it when it's 80 degrees.
That is fair.
Yeah.
It is much better.
And
It's
I refuse to
definitely
eat cold soup. I
It's like-
cannot do that.
It's a fall weather thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite snack is, honestly. I love the spring rolls.
Okay.
And Magic Kingdom,
Which
spring
do
roll
you
cart.
like, the pizza spring roll or the cheeseburger spring roll?
Yes,
Okay, fair.
I like them. I'm not. And there was another one that they had maybe during the
The
50th.
chicken cordon bleu or something like that?
I don't think it was that one. I think there was
Okay.
something with like pastrami or something.
Oh, there was. The
Um,
chicken cordon bleu was before that, I think.
Okay.
But yes, there was something with pastrami. I
Yeah.
never did try it.
I love them all.
Okay.
I really do. But most recently, the favorite thing that I had was if you go to the confectionery, I believe, you can get some popcorn in the back and they'll drizzle chocolate.
Yep.
And so Joey picked it out. So we had chocolate, M&Ms, and marshmallows, which I was like, this is probably not going to be great. It was excellent.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing, even when they did a girls trip last month, and I was like, will you please bring me back some popcorn? And they didn't.
Oh,
So, yeah. So when Leonard and I go for the boys trip, that is one of the things.
Yeah, don't bring them back any popcorn.
I won't. Don't you worry. I won't.
Don't bring back anything. You asked for one thing and they didn't do it.
You know, one time we got popcorn buckets are a big deal, right?
They are. Yeah.
So we have a Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket
Oh,
that
nice.
we got. And we were bringing it back to Lennon, and we, me being the genius I am, left the popcorn in there. And by the time we got home with it on the plane, there was popcorn in all over our suitcase. So
yeah, that checks out.
it's fine.
Yep.
But that's probably my my snack of choice. I'm gonna say I always get popcorn every time I go.
Sure.
I love popcorn. So.
Okay. That's a good one. So for me, as far as ice cream goes, I would generally say it's the Mickey ice cream sandwich. I like the ice cream sandwich. I've always loved an ice cream sandwich.
It's a good one.
But if I had to go for something even better, over at the Dole Whip place,
Yeah.
right outside of where you exit Tiki Room,
Yes.
they have a, let's see, which one is it? It's the one, it's got the coconut Dole Whip.
Oh, I don't think I know.
It comes with a cake pop on it.
Oh my gosh.
nice.
It's very indulgent.
Yeah.
It is,
I thought you were gonna say they do one that's like so you get the Dole Whip,
right?
but you get the orange.
Yeah.
I guess it's like Fanta or something they pour in there. You know what I mean?
That's
So-
the Pog juice.
Yeah, the Pog juice.
Yeah,
Pog juice.
That's what I
it
thought.
is.
That's what I
it
thought
is.
you were about to
Yes.
say was the Pog,
Okay.
because I was like, I forgot the
Yeah.
Pog juice is so
That's
good.
exactly
Yeah,
what it
no,
is.
so this
and it's
one-
very good.
So this, I think it's the same thing because I think this one has Pog juice on it. Let's see. I'm going to look and see exactly what it's called here at Aloha Isle. It is the, well, this is Coconut Cup. Where did it go? I don't know. The bottom line, the Coconut Cup works for me. It's, no, it's the Tropical Serenade, Passion Orange Guava Juice, Coconut Soft Serve, and an upside down pineapple cake pop.
God, that sounds delicious.
It is. It is. And I'll be honest, I'd be
Yeah.
fine now that I know that I can just get a Coconut Cup.
So I like coconut flavored things. I do
And
not
that's-
like coconut.
That's what this is. It's coconut It is coconut flavored soft serve.
Sign
and
me
it
up,
is
man.
Absolutely
Sign me up.
amazing. It's so good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm getting Saturday.
After you walk out of Tiki Room.
Yeah. Which, okay, whatever.
Hey, don't knock on the Tiki Room.
I do. No,
I love the Tiki Room.
It's a classic.
It
Gary,
is.
has your wife ever been to the Tiki Room?
Is that a euphemism for something else?
No, I was just saying like it'd be a great opportunity to tell her how great the Tiki Room is and
she's
let
been.
her experience it.
We've been.
Okay,
We've been to the Tiki Room. Yeah.
Is that
We've,
still a euphemism?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I took Emily and did not tell her ahead of time what this was.
What to expect?
Yeah, no, I was like, we've got it. Like,
Okay.
this is like, it's amazing. It's been one of my favorite things. I knew she had never been. I was like, it's so, like, it's a classic. We got to go. She doesn't like birds either. And so we get in there and it starts off, you know, they wake up Jose. He goes through the whole thing. They start singing. And I look over at her and she looks at me. She says, what the hell is this? And I was like, yeah, that's probably a fair reaction if you
It's a
had no
tiki
idea
room.
what it's the tiki
It's
room.
the tiki room.
Where all the birds
Yeah.
sing words and the flowers croon.
Yeah, and,
You know.
and that's the thing.
Tiki
I
room.
love everything that the tiki room stands for.
Me too.
You
What
know,
does it stand for?
I love it. Well, it was the first attraction with animatronics.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Originally
Yeah, it
meant
was the
to
first,
be, I think the original concept was for like a restaurant.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
You would have all these birds around you that
Yep.
were singing and all this kind of stuff you're eating. Which if you go to Disneyland, they've got, I think it's a Tropical Hideaway,
Yes.
which is right next to the tiki room.
Yeah, and isn't
Which-
one of the other birds is
Yeah, I was going to
Like-
say there's a little
yeah.
Easter egg there because I think Rosita is I
yeah.
think it's the bird's
think it
name
is.
that
Yeah.
is there.
Yes.
And they mention that in the tiki room when they bring out the girls.
Yes.
And they name all of them. And then one of them says, I wonder whatever happened to Rosita.
Yeah.
And she's gone off to the.
Isn't
moved to
there,
California.
I don't want to say this, but do your own research. But Big Thunder Mountain,
Yeah.
you know, they would send birds down, and I feel like there's a
Canaries.
cage or something. There is a there's a reference to Rosita.
There could be. I don't know.
That
That's
feels-
funny.
there might be.
Feels a little morbid.
It does.
We'll have to wait until it reopens. That's another thing that's well, I don't know. Do we have a reopening date yet for Big Thunder?
No,
Big Thunder closed?
I think it's just
Did, like,
late.
It's closed
yeah.
for refurbishment.
Yeah.
It, like major, like
Yeah, like
track
they
is
pulled
coming
some
up.
of the track out and all that.
And what I really hope is happening is we're gonna get the effects that Disneyland has on the last lift hill
Yes.
Where things
because it's
blow up.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
it's
lot
like,
more believable than the one in Disney World.
It's
yeah.
not just wiggly. Like it really does. Yeah. It's a lot better.
Yeah,
Like most of the rides at Disneyland, it's a lot better.
literally.
We might have dunked on California Adventure, but I will give it to Disneyland.
Yeah,
Your rides are better.
yeah. I mean, I've
Pretty much across the board.
said this several times. You ask me, do I want to go to Disney World? Do I want to go to Disneyland? I will tell you Disney World.
Yeah. Same.
What's my favorite Disney park? Disneyland.
Same.
Yeah,
Well, or Epcot. For me, it's one of those two.
sure.
But would I take Disneyland over Magic Kingdom? Yes, I would.
Yeah,
Assuming
I
they're
absolutely-
all like within like 1 mile of each other.
Yeah. I
Disneyland.
just want to know why we don't have the Disneyland versions of the ride at Disney World.
Uh,
They had all this space to do whatever they wanted to.
whatever they wanted
Yeah.
to do.
And they gave us truncated versions
They
of,
did.
especially Pirates, man. It makes me so
but
sad.
they also gave us wider walkways and more bathrooms.
That's true. They did, because that was the big issue at Disneyland. You're right. The
It
walkways
was.
are very narrow and the bathrooms are few and far between.
Yeah,
And when you do find them, there's like 4 stalls.
yeah. It's
Whereas at Disney World, you walk in, there's like 40 stalls.
yeah. I mean,
And
it
yet
was a
somehow
big
most of
difference.
them are still busy.
They are.
So,
I mean, there's a lot of folks that come through those.
yeah.
I was gonna say turnstiles, but there's not turnstiles.
No. Not at Disney World. There are at Disneyland.
There are.
There are turnstiles at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Not at
It,
Disney World.
yeah.
Very confusing.
It's a different place.
It is a totally
I
different
mean,
place.
Which is something we'll discuss
We will.
on one of these episodes. So, so to quickly somewhat recap today's episode, we talked about what to do if you get sick in Disney. We talked about some of the changes that we're excited about coming, or maybe even not so excited about coming in 2025, and told you about some of our favorite snacks around the parks. So now it's your turn. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? You can reach out to us or comment below on wherever it is that you are consuming this medium, this podcast. And of course, if you enjoyed it, we'd always like you to subscribe, rate, do all those things. Our goal is to get one of these out once a month. And so, so thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate you listening to the whole thing. And I guess we'll see you again, or you'll hear from us again, maybe, or we'll hear from you. Leave a comment, and maybe we'll even respond. We'll talk about it. We'll do like I don't know, thanks for correcting us, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Give us your ideas and thoughts.
yeah, if there's something that you want us to talk about, tell us. If there's something that you don't want us to talk about, maybe tell us that too. I don't know.
That may just encourage us to talk about it, though.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Well, I think this is the end. So from now until next time, take care and keep popping.
Bye.
Bye-bye.